Hi guys, it's Miss Katie and I'm going to show you how to do an activity today called sink or float. And sink is when something goes down and float is when it stays above the water. Now I have a journal paper that I wrote sink and float and I put it in half, and then I have some items that I'm going to test out, and then I took a small shoebox and filled it with water. I also got a paper towel to dry off the things that I'm going to put inside the water. Alright, let's begin. Now before we begin, we're going to predict if it's going to sink or float. So here, let's start with the crayon. I think the crayon's going to float. So let's see. It sank to the bottom. So I'm going to take that out, dry it off, and then put it on the side of sink. The next item I'm going to try is a spoon. Now this feels heavy. I think it's going to sink to the bottom. Yup, it sank to the bottom. So now I'm going to dry that off and put it below the crayon on the side of sink. Next I have a little Ryan toy. I think he's going to float. He did float. Do you see he's staying above water? So I'm going to dry him off and I'm going to put him underneath the word float. I also have a princess shoe. I think this is going to float. Oh, it sank to the bottom. So I'm going to dry it off and put it below the word sink. Now I'm going to try this unicorn rubber ducky. I think this is going to float. Yup, it does. So I'm going to dry that off and put it on the float side.
Mom,
next, I have a halo clementine. So let's see. I think it's going to float. Oh, it sank to the bottom. So now we're going to dry it off and put it under the word sink. I have a dinosaur, plastic dinosaur. I think he's going to float. He did float. He went back up to the top. So I'm going to dry him off and put him below the word float. And then the last thing I have is a plastic spoon, and I think it's going to float. It did float. So I'm going to dry it off and put it on the side that says float. Now let's see how many items sunk. 1, 2, 3. And let's see how many items were floating. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the float has one more. So float has 4 and sink has 3. So the float had more items than sink. Alright guys, if you do this activity at home, I want you to take a picture and send it to me on the Remind app. Alright, have a good day. Bye.